So look. Beggars can't be choosers, and the Indiana Fever are in a rough spot. And I mean rough spot. Look, as far as we're aware, Aaliyah Boston's injury is a meniscus injury. Until we hear otherwise, from what I've seen, it has been reported that Aaliyah Boston has been dealing with a meniscus injury. It has not been reported that this specific thing is a meniscus injury, but I'm putting two and two together that it was known for a fact the preseason injury was a meniscus injury, and it's the same lower leg injury, and it is now being reported that she is currently dealing with a meniscus injury. Or she has been dealing with a meniscus injury. It is now one of these things where the Fever need to just find anybody. KK Timpson's not very good. They need to find anybody that can play the 4 or the 5. At the same time, you have now got Grace VanSlooten, who is available, and I thought was really pretty decent against the Fever last night. 5 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Got a nice layup over Caitlin Clark as well, and looks athletic. She looks athletic. She's guarding Kelsey Mitchell here on the perimeter. Like, that's not an easy shot for Kelsey to make. And again, this is a 6'3", good rebounding big. Like, she's quick. Like, she is big. She's fast. She's super. Like, she is somebody that was seen as a high-level prospect. She was mocked at 10 to Indiana in a couple of mock drafts, and then just fell to the 3rd round for some reason. But she is a big athlete who's strong. Isn't KK Timpson level of, like, not having a breeze what's going on. Like, she had more assists in this game than KK Timpson has had in her career. She also swatted KK twice on one play. Like, Grace VanSlooten is not, like, look, she's not the greatest player in the world. But the fact is that someone has to sign her. Somebody has to sign her. And this is a player that has, in my opinion, more potential than she's pushing the floor, kicking the shooters. She's 6'3". She's 6'3", and she's on a 4-year minimum. 4-year minimum. Like, this is a player that is now being waived. That you can get all. You want to know what the cost to get her is? The cost to get her is waiving Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, who has played 3 minutes this season. Who has played 3 minutes this season. It is realistically, that's all it is. They don't have to trade anything. They don't have to make anything work like they would have had to with Sika Kone. And if you want to say, oh, you know, I'm saying everyone's the perfect player. Look, tell me I'm wrong with this statement. A person who can play the 4 and 5 and can run and isn't KK Timpson level of clueless on the floor. That's all we're asking for. All we're asking for is somebody that is 6'3 plus and plays hard and won't stand on the halfway line pointing at somebody as their player runs in an open layup. That is all we have to know. That's all we need. That's all we need. And the cost of this is cutting Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, who is not in the rotation, who's a 30-year-old 5'9" guard who averaged 1 point per game last year. And for people being like, oh, you know, and I stand by this. If the Indiana Fever had said, and okay, maybe they won't cut Shatori Walker-Kimbrough because it's her birthday. I don't care. I actually don't care. Happy birthday, Shatori. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that the Indiana Fever signed you. But we also have to take into account Grace VanSlooten started for Team USA in AmeriCup. She was a starter for Team USA in AmeriCup. She had 8 points in the final against Brazil. Like, she was going toe-to-toe with Camila Cardoso in this game. And again, a team of college players. But still. They won that game, and she was a massive positive. She led the team in plus minus. They win a game by 8 points for USA. She leads the team plus minus. And sorry, she didn't start the final, but Reagan Beers only played. She led the team minutes in the final. She played 25 minutes in a team where Flaw J couldn't get off the bench. She played more minutes than Olivia Miles. She played more minutes than Hannah Hidalgo. She played more minutes than Michaela Blakes. Sorry, she played 15 seconds less than Madison Booker. Played more minutes than Reagan Beers, who looks to have a spot cemented in the league. Played more minutes than Niebkins. Played more minutes than Kendi Smith. Played more minutes than Joyce Edwards, who's projected to be a top 3 pick next year. Or sorry, top 3 pick in 2028. And played way more minutes than Audie Crooks. Like, she is a player. She is a player, and she's a WNBA player, and she's going to be a WNBA player for a long time. Like, this was one of these ones where I'm like, man, the Seattle Storm got a steal. The Seattle Storm got a steal. And I was even watching the game yesterday. I was on live, and I'm like, man, the Seattle Storm got themselves a steal with Grace VanSlooten. And it turns out, no, that it's not one of these things. It's a case where they never had any intention of playing Grace VanSlooten. They never had any intention of playing her. It was always, or say not Grace VanSlooten, jeez. They never had any intention of keeping Grace VanSlooten if you are Seattle. But if you're Indiana, they never any intention of bringing in a big. Like, if they don't do something, it's very clear they don't have an intention of winning. I cannot stress it enough. If Indiana don't do something, I think we can be completely real here and say the Indiana Fever have no intention of winning. That they would rather appease a 31-year-old, who's going to play no minutes, who's going to average 0 points per game, than winning. You might be saying, oh, but like, do you remember Bree Turner last year? Well, yes, Bree Turner played last year because the front court rotation for the Indiana Fever was Damiris Dantas, who stinks. And she only started getting really in when Damiris Dantas got hurt. Damiris Dantas, who sucks, KK Timpson, who was too young, and Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston. The front court rotation for the Indiana Fever right now is an injured Aaliyah Boston. It's not even that. It is Michaela Timpson, who's injured by the looks of things, with she might be concussed. Maisha Hines-Allen, Monique Billings. Whereas last year, again, the Fever guard rotation. For Shatori Walker-Kimbrough to play, the Indiana Fever need 2 injuries to guards. For Grace VanSlooten to play, she just has to be on the roster. Like, that's all. That's all. And for people being like, oh, you're saying everyone's perfect. I'm sorry. You answer me this question. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough has played 3 minutes this year. Would the Indiana Fever have been better this season if they had Aicha Coulibaly? Yes. Would the Indiana Fever be better this season if they trade for Sika Kone? Yes. Would the Indiana Fever be better this season if they got rid of Walker-Kimbrough for Annalise Maley? Yes. Would the Indiana Fever be better this season if they had found a way of getting Beck Allen? Yes. Would the Indiana Fever be better this season if they activated Justine Passat? Yes. But they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Like if they activated Justine Passat, I wouldn't even be talking too much about this. She's not even that much of a need. But at the same time, if you guys don't know, the Indiana Fever can sign VanSlooten and activate Justine Passat. They can sign VanSlooten and activate Passat. Because, I don't know, I'm saying, oh, but like, Passat was a 2nd round pick, man. Nearly every 2nd round pick. Like, I need to see, I need to look at this. Is Passat the only player that has not been activated for a game? So I'm just going to say 2026 WNBA draft that has not been activated for a game. Tana Mayer has been activated for a game. So, yes, will be very soon. Yes, stashed. Yes. Dev player, but will be activated soon. And yes. So then you have got Marta Suarez. No. Friday Booner is played, yes. Prosper, yes. Ledger Walker, yes. Latson, yes. Lattimore, is Lattimore just available? Lattimore wouldn't be a bad shout. But that's a bit of a KK Timpson type reach. As Ashlon Jackson played, where did Ashlon Jackson sign for? She's on a dev contract somewhere. It's Connecticut. So Ashlon Jackson has not played. Chance Gray's in the rotation. Stash. India Navarre's played. Janiyah Barker's injured. Little Paige Bueckers. I don't know. Has Little Paige Bueckers played? I don't know. And if you go to round 3, Sarah Williams has played. Rory Harmon's in the rotation. You've got Stash, Bigby, no. VanSlooten was in the rotation. Timmins is playing Upstart or Upshot League. Stash. And Lanny White, I don't think has. So, 75% of the draftees have been activated for a game. The Indiana Fever are just so backwards that they don't care. The difference between the Fever and any of these other teams is that these other teams gave their players a fair shot. Lattimore got cut because of I can't remember what her name was, as did Koulibaly. Oh, who was the rookie of Chicago that balled in the last preseason game? Taylor. She hardly plays. But they at least gave their players a fair shot. The Indiana Fever didn't. The Indiana Fever did not give their players a fair shot. That being said, when things open up, you have to be willing to cut Tori Walker-Kimbrough. And if they're not, they're just unserious.